What's up, David? What we debating today, Marcus? It's time to start the show. Yeah, it's time to start the show. Off the top rope, 4-figure leg lock. Ric Flair with the chest chop. Haterers wonder why I never tap out. A young king like DeMarcus. Undertaker with a coffin. Choke slam so often. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man, the boy keep flossing. Man, the boy keep talking. I'm with David. I'm with Marcus.
Welcome to No Holds Barred Podcast, where we give you reviews and analysis on all things sports, entertainment, and hip hop. And speaking of hip hop, we got up and coming artist from Brockton, Massachusetts. You can listen to his brand new project, Don't Blame the Rain, on iTunes as well as SoundCloud. I'm here with my buddy Tyler Rose. How are you, man?
It's a pleasure to have you. I'm doing good.
I'm glad you're here,
glad
man.
to be a part of the show.
We've had this, just to let you guys know, we've had this cooked up for a while. So
definitely did.
Keep your eyes peeled. Use your ears to listen. This is going to be quite the interview. All right? Let's get into it, Tyler. So Don't Blame the Rain. I'm not blowing smoke when I say that this is a project that I've been listening to regularly. I'm not just blowing smoke. I listen to it regularly. It inspires. It really pulls on the heartstrings of those who are listening. I don't know about anybody else, but it pulls on your heartstrings. And I think whatever you're doing in the entertainment industry, whether it is rapping or poetry or even pro wrestling, you want to tug on people's emotions. You want them to feel a type of way, as we would say. What was your thought process in getting this project done? Was that on purpose? Or did that just come with the territory based off your storytelling?
Well, I think with music, most of the time it comes from situations in life. When I recorded the project, I remember there's a lot of negative things. I'd say misfortunate things. That's what comes with the title. Don't Blame the Rain. Some people would use the rain as an unfortunate, like, oh, it's raining outside, it's a bad vibe or whatever. Sometimes I use the weather for a metaphor to describe an unfortunate event. And at the time, a lot of unfortunate events were coming and happening, and the project, that's how it came about. We just, decided to, use the rain as a metaphor for bad things, and that's how, the project came about. A lot of things just come naturally with music, though. I mean, it's not really forced. A lot of the songs I write, it just write itself. You know what I mean? It just feel like I have to force anything. It just comes naturally, and then, that's how it really starts. But, yeah, definitely that's how the project came about.
Okay, all right. And I definitely think it showed. I mean, I think there was not a song that, did not pull on your emotions in some way. And those negative things, I think you turn them into a positive because... I've known you for a while, but I would have never personally guessed you were going through those things. And for the fact that you put that in your music, it allows people like me and people on the outside looking in to get an extra layer of who Tyler Rose is. And I think that was what you did best with that project.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on, you've been riding with Marco Garcia for a while. And describe the working relationship between you two. How's that like?
Well, I met Marco in 2012. It's funny because Marco was a rapper before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his producer name is Alexi, but government name Marco. But he was a rapper, and I remember he would always make music. And this is before I decided I was gonna make music and decided I was gonna be an artist. I would just see him, and I'd always give him love, show him support. Like I like his music. Because one thing I heard about his music, even though he never thought he was the best, and even though he knew, even now it's that wasn't what he really wanted to do, but at the time it did. I always seen his emotion, his passion for it, and so we met 2012 officially for music. But as far as meeting him, I met him my freshman year, and we clicked talking about music, and then we had a 3-hour conversation. I still have the screenshot. It was the first time we really talked and got into it. Told him how passionate I was and how I really want to make music. It was a 3-hour conversation, and then ever since then we've been working nonstop.
I like the pairing, man. You guys seem to have that chemistry, and I think people really overlook what good chemistry does. Even let's take it to basketball. People are already writing off DeMarcus Cousins going on the Pelicans, but they gotta understand you gotta learn what makes the person tick. You know, you gotta learn how to communicate to them on their bad days. What do they want to hear? You know, so I think the chemistry is important, and you guys definitely seem like that has been developed. Y'all took your time, and the sky's the limit for you guys, man. I haven't heard a bad beat from Marco, to be honest, man.
He's got some pretty good stuff.
He be hooking you up.
Yeah.
All right, man. Like, let's go back way back. When you started this rap journey, I was there. A lot of people don't realize it, but I was definitely there.
Definitely
It was like,
senior year.
Yeah. I remember when you came in and you were breaking it down to me, and many people were laughing at you at the time, man. I'd be thinking on my own time, like I'd be reminiscing, and I'm like, I remember a lot of people were laughing at him, but look at you now. I don't hear a lot of people laughing.
No one's laughing now.
I don't hear a lot of people laughing, man.
Not,
And it's like, I gotta ask you, Tyler, man, throughout that whole time, you know, people laughing, people, you know, like to make fun. He's just another Brockton rapper. But throughout the whole time, you kept a mental toughness to you that I admire. Like, you didn't lash out. You didn't go make a diss track. You didn't go and, you know, he said, she said. You stuck to it.
Definitely.
You got better, and it showed, and everybody's eyes are starting to notice.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me what goes into that mental toughness and staying on the focus, the task at hand.
I think it's just a pure drive. Like, you can't really let anyone get to you. If you let someone tell you you can't do something, then you're just as bad as that person. You know what I'm saying? If you let someone affect you, then you're really weak. You gotta have a strong mindset to do something, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's a hard task to tackle. You know, to be you know, a really good artist, and to really get to the place where you want to be. Because I always compare basketball, which is my first dream, to rap. Well, basketball, you can be the best player, but you're gonna get somewhere if you're the best player. In rap, you can be the best rapper, but you might not have the right connection, or you might not know the right people, or there might be a little politics behind it that's not gonna get you where you deserve to be. So I always say with music, you really just have to have a passion for it, and you can't let no one tell you nothing otherwise. Because if you do, you're just gonna kill yourself. Because you gotta realize that everyone's thinks that you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, there's gonna be some people to tell you no.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I learned that myself. You know, there's gonna be people to tell you it's stupid, it's unrealistic, but
no chance in hell.
Yeah.
What's that?
You're pulling on my heartstrings right now, man. You're pulling on my heartstrings.
But that Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, that Mr.
McMahon.
It's real though. There's gonna be people to tell you that, and I think, you know, even seeing you, how you kept your mental toughness, it's allowed me to see that it can be done. You know, even with my journey, with my projects, you know, there is people that are going to laugh at it. And there's people, you know, it is what it is. You got to put in your head that not everybody's going to be pleased, not everybody's going to be satisfied. But I tell you, everybody's going to respect you at the end of it, man.
It's a journey. It's a marathon.
It is.
Not a race.
And it's great to see how it plays out. And I just think it's a testament to hard work, man. Nobody could ever look you in the eye and tell you you didn't work hard.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that, man.
And I would like to tell you that right now firsthand. Coming from the heart, man. But let's move on. Let's move on to the New York Knicks, your team. I like them too.
Talk about some
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring in some negativity, but I support the New York Knicks too.
Me as well.
And I had them in the upper half of the Eastern Conference, at least fifth seed.
The fifth, right?
That is what.
Damn, I mean, come on.
I'm a little disappointed, and let's be honest, it's not Carmelo Anthony's fault. I'm sick and tired of Carmelo Anthony getting blamed. Tyler, tell me what you think is the problem with the Knicks, and what needs to happen for them to become a playoff team. At least a playoff team.
I mean, to me, like I said, Melo, man, is not the guy's fault they're losing. First of all, Melo has never been the LeBron type of player who's gonna come in and he's gonna make everybody around him better. That's just not who he was, and there's nothing wrong with that. Cause like I say, Stephen A. says it a lot. Allen Iverson with the Sixers, they surround him with defenders, role players, dudes that's gonna do the dirty work. You need a Marcus Smart. You need a Jay Crowder. You need those guys around you that's going to do things that Melo don't do. Melo's a horse. You give this dude the ball on the post, he's going to score no matter what.
Oh,
God's will. You give him the, he can score. He can put up buckets any time of the day. But you got to realize you got to put the right pieces around him. When you got a horse like that, you got a big engine. You got to feed him the right oil. You know what I'm saying? You got to put everything around him to make it go. I don't think it's his fault, obviously. And one thing I'd say is they're running a triangle offense, David. I mean, it's 2017, for God's sake. Yeah. You see the goddamn
I'm sick
Warriors.
of hearing that damn word.
You see the Warriors, how fast they... Man, the ball's
it's all about getting a lot of possession and maximizing the possessions you get in this NBA, whether we like it or not. It's about pace, pace, pace. Shoot some threes, get easy buckets in transition. Yeah. And speaking of the triangle, I think, I hate to sound like Stephen A., but we're letting Phil Jackson off the hook. Yeah. Talk about Phil Jackson.
You know, Phil Jackson didn't want the job. They offered this guy all this money, turned it down. They offered him more, turned it down. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna take this goddamn money. Look, I can use the money, whatever. I don't know the situation, but I know for a fact that this guy does not know what he's doing. He does not know what he's doing. You don't coach being a president. You gotta coach being a coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you signed Joakim Noah to, what is it, 4 years or 5 years?
4 years, 72
million. I mean, the guy's he's out for the season. It just happened to see February was last month.
I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
I mean, if this was Joakim in 2013, I have no problem because that guy was he defensive player of the year?
Former defensive player.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. The dude's a great player. I'm not taking anything away from him, but right now, you know what I mean? It's like it's not a good move. The Courtney Lee was a good move. I like that. And they got Derrick Rose for a bag of peanuts. I can't. And Derrick Rose plays good in spurts. I mean, he's had some great games. He's had some great games. No question about that.
But I think with Derrick Rose, he definitely has shown that he can continue to score at a high level. Yes. But Melo didn't need a point guard like that.
Yeah,
he needed more of a guy to give me the ball in my spots,
Pick
spots.
Run the offense, be a leader.
I think that is the problem. And Phil Jackson's definitely the biggest issue in my opinion. But what are your thoughts? Realistically, we've heard all the rumors, but no move happened. Realistically, what makes basketball sense and cap room sense that you think Melo could go to maybe in the summer? What do you think makes the most sense?
I mean, the Clippers was looking like an option for him, but I don't want to see him on the West Coast, man. I'd rather see him in the Boston Celtics uniform. However, I know there's a slight possibility that it ever happened. For one, Derrick Rose and Isaiah Thomas, they have slimmer tendencies. They have to have the ball in their hand.
Yeah.
You need a guy like, when he was in Denver, you need a guy like Billups. He knows
that doesn't mind not scoring 20 points.
Yeah. He doesn't care if he scores 8 points. If his team's winning, he got some assists, he got the chemistry flowing. That's all you need. I mean, you seen that Denver team. They almost beat Kobe Bryant, the LA Lakers. He was the MVP that year. And they would have beat that stupid Orlando Magic.
They would have. It's funny to think about it, right?
He would have won. I'm telling you. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was the videos. You ever see the videos of the highlights between him and Kobe in 2009? Yeah. Melo was giving it. It was
a knockdown, drag out. We don't get series like that anymore, where the stars are guarding each other most of the time. And that was really a good series. And people always try to gloss over that we're talking about Melo. And I agree with you 1,000%. When you got one of the greatest scorers to ever pick up a basketball, what do? You take him and you surround him by defenders. You surround him by guys that don't mind playing their role, that don't mind scoring 20 points. That's just basketball 101. You know, he's not a superstar. There's superstars that are going to be doing a lot of things at once and could turn water into wine. There's superstars that you give them a parts. They'll close the deal when they get there, and I think that's what Melo is for sure. I think that's what Kyrie Irving is. There's a lot of stars that are
Kevin
like that.
Love. You know, never seen the playoffs. They seen LeBron.
They just need.
What's the criticism on that guy?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kevin Durant and Westbrook. They technically they came up short. Technically, if you want to be real, and Melo's never had his Pippen. Melo's never had his Wade and Bosh. Where's his future Hall of Famer and Hall of Fame coach?
Man, look at the teams LeBron's had to compare him to Melo. The players, he's played with the Hall of Famers. Kyrie, Kevin Love, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. These guys, man. I mean, Melo's had a washed-up AI. I mean, I wouldn't say washed, but towards the end
I don't think it was necessarily washed. I think it was Melo was young and AI was the vet. So it was like Melo was playing the sidekick. So it wasn't kind of meshing all that much. But last question before we end this part. Do you think the pickup of Darren Williams tipped the favor in the Cavs? Excuse me, did Darren Williams make the Cavs the favorites over the Warriors? Or the Spurs even? Because you know me and my Spurs. I'm not counting them out, man.
Yeah.
They're always in the mix.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard is getting better and better. But did that tip the favor in the Cavs' favor?
To be honest with you, David, I've had the Cavs from day one.
Really?
No Darren Williams, no Derek
Wow.
Williams, no Andrew Bogut, no Kyle.
I think you're the first person I heard say that.
Man, I'm not worried about these Warriors, man. They're choke artists. I'm just gonna call it like that. You blow a 3-1 series, you can get Kevin Durant. You can get, I don't care who you got. If you blow that series, man, there's always that back piece in the back of the Cavaliers' mind.
A psychological
edge,
edge,
like you get on like, you know, you've seen Steph. He's horrible in the finals. He's had terrible numbers. I mean, man, I've had the Cavs for a while, but I do think that gave them an advantage because they got, like they said, LeBron wanted that point guard off the bench. Yeah,
Yep.
Playmaker. So
I think the Warriors are still the favorites, if I want to be honest, just off who they have alone. But something in my heart of hearts, putting fandom aside, Tyler, I think if they don't avoid the Spurs, meaning if they run into the Spurs, because remember last year they avoided them. They avoided them and faced
you seen the first,
Oklahoma City.
The first game of the season, right?
If they somehow have to run into the Spurs, it's going to 7 games, and I like my Spurs' chances because at the end of the day, we got guards to throw at them that could defend them. We got Danny Green. We got Kawhi Leonard, the best perimeter defender in the game, who is now an offensive juggernaut. So I think we got the tools. You know what it depends on? LaMarcus Aldridge has to have a huge series for us to beat the Warriors.
That guy,
he has to
step it up.
Sometimes I don't know what it is, man. I know how good he is. He's a superstar. He could be a superstar on a lot of nights, but how he plays determines whether we could beat the Warriors or not. I think he has to have a series where he averages at least 20 or 19 in order for us to get to that hump. When he's aggressive, he's hitting mid-range shots, he's hitting standstill threes, we're unstoppable.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I never count the Spurs, man. Greg Pop, man, you just can't count them out. The first game of the year, you gave an example of, man, you can have the best team in NBA, man. If you got great players who want to win, they will win. That's simple as that.
Shows it year in, year out, like
a good
like
system.
The Patriots of the NBA, literally.
Good chemistry. You know, you got a team full of winners. Any team could be any team any given night. Celtics actually beat the Warriors.
Yeah, just like yesterday. Yeah, I was watching that. That was a really good game, by the way. And
I was mad I didn't get to watch that, but it's all right.
It was definitely a pretty good game.
The Cleveland game was pretty good. The
Celtics Cleveland,
that was great.
That was one of the best games of the year. One was that.
Celtics could compete.
They could play, but I really think they should have made that trade for a star. But they could play. I'm still worried about them. The team I'm saying to watch on the East is the Washington Wizards. Great minds think alike.
I've been telling people.
I have them in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Cavaliers. I'm gonna tell you, man. John Wall's a top 5 point guard. I've been saying this for the last year or two.
23 and 10, right?
Yeah, the guy, he plays on both ends. He got Bradley Beal going. They got a little bit deeper with Bojan Bogdanovic and Brandon Jennings. Like, I say watch out for them, man.
I wouldn't sleep on those guys.
I think they could take the Cavs to maybe 6 games or so, 7 games maybe.
They give them a run for their money. We all know Cleveland's gonna, ultimately win. But that team next year,
they're looking like the biggest threat.
I mean,
call me crazy. I know it sounds unrealistic, but if somehow they were to work out something over the summer, technically Melo was born in that area.
Man,
if he wanted to think like I want to go really home and I want to play with Wall and Beal, those guys are young. That is your championship team, man. But I don't know if that's crossing Melo's mind.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know, man. But I do know that would be a great. I was just thinking.
He wouldn't have to go to the West.
What's up, David?
West, stay in the East. He's got a good point guard.
What we debating today, Marcus?
No one was sacrificed to win.
Yeah,
It's time to stop
Wall
the show.
doesn't care about points like that.
He wanted DeMarcus too.
That would have been
show.
good too. But if you
Off the
come
top
over
rope,
Wall and
four-figure
Bill
leg
and
lock.
Otto
Ric
Porter,
Flair with
you
the
know
chest
that
chop.
guy
Hater
stepped up his
friends wonder
game.
why I never tap out. A young king like DeMarcus. Undertaker with a coffin. Choke slam so often. Stone Cold Steve
You think the
Austin.
Washington
Man, the
Wizards
boy
will
keep
do something in the
flossing.
playoffs
Man, the
where
boy
you
keep
want to hear Tyler
talking.
World's
I'm with
story and
David.
get to know
I'm
him a
with
little more?
Marcus.
Feel free to
And I got
like our
something to
page on
say.
Facebook at No Dash Host
And I got
Podcast.
something to say.
Subscribe to us on YouTube
And I
at
got
No Dash
something to
Host
say.
Podcast.
Let's start the show.
And feel free, download Don't Blame the Rain, available on iTunes and
Go get
SoundCloud.
that.
Listen to it now, no excuses.
You won't regret it.
See you in part 2.